Is this thing on? What's going on, legends? So I was just about to log on, and then Google tells me there's been a data breach on some of my account passwords. So I'm Battle Stations having a look, investigating that last second. And then it turns out for some reason that notification decided to pop up from 2022. So it's been well addressed since then. Yay. Tech. They call it tech. I call it fuckery. What's going on, legends? How the flippin' heck are we? Where am I? That is the question. Emu Plains. Emu Plains. No emus here. It's all bullshit. Although there was, in a decidedly Australian moment last week, there was a kangaroo randomly jumping down the road, and this is like a busy industrial area road. So I hope he's alright. There's a few little easements that disappear into the bush, so he's probably coming out of one of them and then got lost. I didn't hear anything further, so I don't think it got hit. So that's good. Alright, frame rate's at 100 frames a second. Wide aperture. ISO 320. And I think we're good to go. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, would yous? It's not that fucking hard. And change it over to live chat instead of top chat. So you don't miss any messages, because back and forth questions can be very confusing when half the messages don't appear. Mark, how you going, mate? You got smoke going, or is it frozen? Glenn, what's happening? Mad Techie, knock, knock, knock. Anyone home? That sounds like Biff Tannen there. I was driving to work today, and there was adverts on for the Back to the Future musical, which is apparently running in Sydney. I don't know about that one. I think they're flogging a dead horse there. We warmed up today, nice minus 9.4 degrees out. Fuck that. Brad is finishing his breakfast of champions, Wheaties. I don't eat Wheaties, but Dad eats Wheaties every morning. Colby Jack. Cuckoo Gear Cook. Best name ever. Best name ever. Can't speak, sorry. Dustin, how are ya? Mogwix, what's going on? Pastor, bent on it. I still don't know what he's bent on, but I like the name. I just almost ate a full large Domino's pizza. The after effect is never, never good. Only the eating part. Are you stoned? That's the only reason I could think of to justify eating an entire Domino's pizza, is that you're mind-bendingly stoned. Who's the bearded guy? Where? Robbie, what's going on, legend? So I'm still getting over the cold flu-y thing I had this week. Still a bit clogged up. Greetings from Atmospheric River Ravage, Washington. When did the term Atmospheric River come out? I'd never heard it referred to as that before, and now all of a sudden it's like every time there's a fucking rainstorm, it's an atmospheric river. Strange. They say it over here too. Finishing up my work day. It's been a tough week. Well, it's over, mate. I hope you finished or are putting in minimum effort for the rest of the day. That's the way to do it, especially this time of year. Not a lot of work. Well, you know, it's always a massive rush towards the end of the year, but it's still in that back of your mind. I'm not fucking putting in 10,000% effort. It's the year's done, mate. There's that imaginary, like force field that all the jobs have to be finished before, like in the trades. Or anyone who's a tradie here would know it. Sparkies, electricians, chippies, we call them, carpenters. builders in general, anything in the construction trade. It's got to be done before the end of the year. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, half the time it's office fit outs and stuff where everyone's on holidays until midway through January anyway, and then who cares? Everything's got to be done by the end of the year. Just an arbitrary date, bro, that some dickhead decided is the end of a year that we've decided is a year. Just go with the flow, mate. Just gets done when it gets done. I'm glad you're streaming such good quality as I'm watching at 144p the wave mobile data. That's alright. I hope you enjoy my pixely goodness. Yeah, it's good weather, cold smoke, isn't it, Mark? You wouldn't have to do anything except just smoke as usual. Does the fucking wood even burn at that temperature? Is it true there are more kangaroos in Australia than humans? Probably. It's not like you see them though. Like, almost no matter where we are in Australia, it's always notable. Like, everyone stops what they're doing and goes, oh, look, a kangaroo. It's not like they're fucking flies, like, everywhere. Do they have cars in Australia? Yeah, we do have cars. We don't have the stupid fucking ridiculous trucks that you dickheads do that take up a lane and a half and can't park anywhere. I was almost going to kick fuck out of one the other day at the supermarket. They were taking up 2 spots because of their stupid yank tank pile of shit that shouldn't even be legal to drive in this country because they're idiotic cars. They belong out in the fucking middle of nowhere just like their drivers. I see that you guys, your fucking pedophile in chief has approved import of those little Japanese trucks with the tray on the back. Those wicked little pickup trucks that have like 800cc engines. I don't know who whispered in the senile old fuck's ear to get those in the country, but someone did, and that it worked. Apparently they're shipping a bunch of them over. When I started my apprenticeship, it was 1 day off at Christmas and 2 at New Year. Man, that sucks, but at least you got the New Year. Sometimes they don't give you New Year. They just give you Christmas. Because they seem to give more respect to a religious holiday rather than a drinking holiday, whereas I think it should be the other way around. You should have like a week off over New Year's Eve. And then Christmas you should just have to work through. Screw you. You have a turkey problem in your neighborhood, do you really? Wow. That's convenient though, because I mean you could eat them. I mean, they are rather edible. They're like a little walking ball of meat. Pretty fantastic. Trucks are a hazard here, especially my little MR2. What's an MR2? I thought that was like a sports car. Trucks here are ridiculous on the highway. They're missiles. Yeah, and they're not built. They're built to kill. They're unnecessarily large, and like if you get hit by one, you get sucked under the front of the fucking thing because the bonnet's so high. We get Christmas Eve, Christmas and the 1st off over here. Yeah, I think we get the same over here. That's guaranteed. There's still people that work through it, but not surprising you don't have trucks over there. Can't really farm in 120C weather. Not in a lot of places, Scotty. I mean, let's face it, large areas of Australia are uninhabitable unless you have pretty severe support systems. But yeah, it is what it is. Too many crying liberals. Yeah, the liberals over here are completely fucked. They've gone down because they're so unpopular. They've lost all their power in the parliament, and they're really fucking up shit creek because they're so incompetent and shit. Twist of the story is that liberals over here are actually the conservatives. So stick that one in your pipe and smoke it, you fucking toolbox. We have bush turkey problems too. I love bush turkeys. We see them when we're out camping. It's great. G'day from the West Coast, New Zealand. Coffee and Brad on a Saturday morning is a great start to my weekend. Sorry if I am a little bit aggressive today, but I think you guys appreciate that. And anyone who doesn't, well, there's other channels that will suit your needs. Feel free to leave. Christmas was even a holiday in Scotland years ago thanks to John Knox. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Sounds like here in the UK, dog shit. Just paid $300 to see gorillas. Nice at Hollywood Palladium. Hard to see a show these days between scalpers and smaller venues. Lady Gaga just played her first of, I think, 3 shows here last night. But you know what I missed? And I am very disappointed in myself for this, but The Living End played on the Opera House steps last night, and I had no idea that they were playing in Sydney. It was the last gig of the tour. And if I knew, I probably would have done what I could to get out there, because I've never seen a gig on the Opera House steps, and it's a very Sydney thing to do, let's put it that way. It brings back great memories of Crowded House doing their farewell tour back in the, what, 90s, early 90s? Late 90s, sorry, early 2000s. I don't like the stupid trucks with the gigantic wheels and all that crap, but I don't like Harleys and Rices for the same reasons, yeah. It's just, you know what it is, Scotty? It's performative males. They need to show everyone how fucking sick they are. It's the dickheads with the exhausts that literally, if they rev next to your car, they burst an eardrum. You should be able to sue fuckers for that. Awesome to see the stand-up bass stood on. Yeah, he's such a legend. Such a great player too. What's his name? Scott Owen? Scott Owen, is it? Bass player? Yeah. And Chris is just a... He's one of the most staunch supporters of rock and roll over here in Australia. He's like our fucking national treasure. Chris Cheney. Tiny penis syndrome. Yeah, it's Napoleon complex, something like that, Scotty. Oh, mercy. TK, how you going, legend? I worked on Scott Owen's bass occasionally when I was Violent Maker's assistant. That's my claim to fame. Fucking oath, that's awesome. I didn't know you did the luthiery stuff too. You're just like me. You got to have a hand in everything to make a living. Good on you, man. Good to see you here too, bloody legend. Everyone go over to TK and follow him. His channel's starting to get its tendrils throughout your YouTube algorithm, which is great. Go over and help him out. You know what to do. Click his profile name and go over and give him a follow. Give him a sub. Oh, it's Deanston at Virgin Oak tonight. 46.3 non-chill filtered and no added colour. Delicious. That sounds like a bloody good drop to me, Martin. This aggression will not stand. You guys love when I'm like, people complain. It's the same old thing. People complain when I go on a rant. They're like, oh, he's fucking complaining again. He's ranting. But those videos do fucking 10 times better than all the others. So you say you don't want it, but you fucking want it. And you're pretending you don't want it. Or there's one guy that doesn't want it and claims he doesn't want it, but you still watch the whole fucking video. And I can see your stats. I can see your analytics from this end. I know who watches what. And the ranty videos are the ones that everyone loves the most and shares around and talks about. And, you know, the other techs talk about and share it around. I want to see a Brad's Guitar Garage and Millhouse Studios co-op. I don't know anything about Millhouse Studios. Let's have a look. What's Millhouse Studios? Is that a YouTube channel? I'm assuming so. Copy paste. Millhouse Studios. Millhouse Studios. Okay, he looks a bit like me. I reckon just looking at him, he looks UK. He's got that British look to him. Strong opinions about Gibsons. Fuck, I was about to do the exact same thing. I won't content steal, but I'll watch that later on. I'll subscribe to that now so I remember. But yeah, I've got a let's do a rant. Fuck yeah, let's do a rant. Why not? So anyway, how are you guys before I get into that? Is everyone good? Is everyone going all right? Paul from Milehouse. Is it Milehouse or Millhouse? He's funny as fuck. He's a proper nice guy. I was down with him last week sorting GMY guitar he built. The guy's funny. He's a mung bean. What's a mung bean? Fill me in, Scotty. I've heard that used before as a pejorative term, but I can't remember what it means. Whilst content is appealing, I watch because of the language. Not many over that use terms like wanker, flog, etc. Yeah. Whoop. Pardon me. Yeah. Things. Sorry, I'm just going to blow my nose before I start this because I can feel myself being clogged. Here I am in 1080p. I'm doing good. The physical therapy is doing wonders for my frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder. That sounds painful. I was out late to catch a mate's gig last night. Tried today, but he had a good time with the boys. Tired today, but had a good time with the boys. Well, that is what it's all about, Mogwix. And I'm glad you did that. That's awesome. Paul from Milehouse aspires to reach your level of mastery of the English language. I don't know about that. Morning, Dad. Dad is in town. He's been giving us a hand. Well, giving us a hand. He's been running his own show at the next bench. And ripping through the repairs. Yesterday he diagnosed a ancient Japanese amp. Let's have a look. No, fuck this thing off for a second. Focus, Brad, focus. He checked out an Ace Tone, which is the genesis of Roland, if I'm not mistaken. Ancient solid state thing from Japan. It's probably the oldest solid state Japanese guitar amp I've had here. Penny Boy, wake up. Oh, helps if I plug Penny Boy in. Sorry, Penny Boy. It's a pebcac issue. There it is. So, it's one of these weird, half the amps inside, half the amps outside kind of deals. They got a PCB on the outside here, which has got the power amplifier on it. And it's actually got speaker protection and shit, which I was quite surprised about, which is kind of rare for an old solid stator. They kind of, just run a bit roughshod straight into the speaker. If you're short an output, so there goes your speaker too, kind of deal. But it actually sounds pretty good. It's got a separate heatsink with they still sort of had in their mind that the output devices were like a valve and had to be like replaced regularly. And granted, back then that was probably true. So they had like a separate module, easily accessible output devices there. TO3 package on a fucking sizable heatsink, actually. A really, really good sized heatsink. A lot of current manufacturers could learn from them. But they've still got like chassis mounted caps and stuff, and they're starting to, oh, they're not bulgy, but yeah, they're Nippon Chemicons that are from it's probably like late 60s, early 70s. It's probably early 70s actually, because I think it's a quasi-complementary direct coupled quasi-complementary output stage with bipolar rails. And there's the little, they've got just random boards everywhere. They've got the main power supply there. You've got these little dual rectifiers down here. Little 3-pin packages that you often find in a lot of the hi-fi stuff, and You've got some, we don't have a schematic, but you've got most of the preamp on the front panel here, with the pots. It's got a pretty display that glows, which is nice. It's got a thing called strain, which is horrible sounding distortion the more you turn it up, and that's probably by design, I'd say. But if you keep that all the way down and you just play the rest of it like a twin, it sounds a lot like a twin, to be honest. The EQ and everything is actually quite musical and intuitive to use, and it sounds pretty damn good, even with the stock speaker, which is a million years old. On the back, it's got this thing called damping factor control. We still haven't determined exactly what that is, but probably have to trace that out. I think Dad was on the trailer, that one, figuring out what it did, but it's broken off anyway. And budget's probably going to be a bit limited on this, so we might have to just leave that as is. With no schematics anywhere on Earth, we're just going to send a quote to do a recap. It looks like this cap's splooged and leaked its electrolyte probably a long time ago, because you can see it's all pooled around on the board. So yeah, a recap. We've got the initial fault cleared, but yeah, I'll quote for a bit of, you know, long-term reliability repairs for that one, preventative maintenance and whatnot. But yeah, no shorted outputs, which is what the customer thought it was. They seem to think it was a big bang and sparks and stuff came out, but there's no evidence of that. So I don't know. Sometimes I think they overestimate what happened. Maybe it just popped through the speaker and they thought that was coming from the actual amp. But yeah, either way, it sounds pretty good. Ranty Brad brings me so much joy. I'm from New Jersey. Jersey. And we're kind of known for being vocal and strong opinions. That's a good way to be. New Jersey. Your ranty videos help us avoid buying shitty amps. Yeah, well, that's what they're for. Yeah. I rant to save you money, champions. Albino. Oh, okay. He's an albino. Al Mungbino. Is that what it means? Really? Okay. I'll take your word for it. I got to wear a mask going into the doctor's surgery next. Oh God, it was bad enough the first time. Flu epidemic here. Oh, that's not good. Especially in winter when everyone's all boxed in together. You'll like Paul Brad. He's got a sense of British humour. A mung bean is a lentil or something. Yeah, I know what a mung bean is. I didn't know it meant albino. El Mungbino. Just ignore him shilling the fertilizer system. What? He goes on that a bit much sometimes. Is shilling stuff that's got nothing to do with what he talks about? Is that correct? Because in a way, that's kind of more honest than shilling shit that's in the industry. It's ruined me for 8 months now. I can finally sleep again. Man, that sucks, Scotty. Shoulders go through your whole fucking neck and into your head and everything, eh? Like, if you got a bad shoulder, it can make you feel like you're sick just from having a, like, torn muscle in your shoulder or something. Because your whole neck and it spreads up into the back of your head, and you feel like you've got a fever. It sounds weird, but I know Scotty will be saying, yeah, that's what it is. Dad had his shoulder reconstructed a while back, and that would have been a fucking nightmare. You have to sleep sitting up and stuff. Oh, some German fret polishing system? Fretilizer. Oh, fretilizer. Okay, so it changed your fretilizer to fertilizer further up. Oh no, I just read it wrong. Fertilizer. Sorry, don't mind me. I thought I read it as fertilizer. Fretilizer, some German fret polishing system. It sucks. Okay. Got a bit of dyslexia, do you, bro? Yeah, probably. It's more that the writing is this big, right? It's like 6-point font, because you can't change that as far as I know in OBS. And I've got a little 14-inch screen, maybe 15, that's about 1 meter from my face. So I'm testing my eyes here, and I think I'm doing pretty well. Let's not talk necks. Yeah. Sorry, Mark. I forgot about your neck thing. How's that going with you anyway, by the way? Is it recovering? Broke my clavicle snowboarding. Yeah, shoulder injuries are awful. Snowboarding's a motherfucker, eh? It's so fun, but the one time I did it, I started really having fun, and then, yeah, broken tailbone. I was up the top of Perisher? Threadbow. I forget which is which. We're at Threadbow. So that's like Canberra, I don't know, 3 hours drive from here. A big snowfield in Australia. Yes, it does snow in Australia. Quite a bit, actually. And my mate who's Swiss, I've told this story before, but my mate who is Swiss and was born on fucking skis and snowboard. Like, he came out of the womb and then skied down the mountain to go to work. He took us out there, and you know, it's second nature to him, but he was doing the black runs and shit, and then he's trying to teach me how to snowboard, and of course he's not a good teacher, so he's like, yeah, just come down here, yeah, you'll be right. And he thinks he can just throw people at a problem and they'll figure it out, because that's what he does. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm starting to get a hang of it. And then he took us down this back alley where all the snowmobiles park, and there's like a garage there where they service them. So the snow's compacted by the snowmobiles, and it's like concrete. So he took us down there, and he's skiing, because he found that he can go faster if he's on the snowmobile tracks, because it's so compressed and it's like glass, and you can just fly down it. So he's having fun, but he's trying to get me to follow him. So I'm following him, and then my snowboard digs into one of the snowmobile tracks, and then I fall flat on my ass first at the ground. The snowboard just goes out from under me, and I just go bang right on my ass and crack my tailbone, my coccyx, if you will. It didn't, I mean, it hurt, but it didn't immediately, it wasn't immediately clear how much damage I'd done. So it started to ache, obviously, as the internal bleeding ramped up, and started to throb. Had a throbbing ass, not in that way. I don't know what way I'm talking about, but I had enough in me to snowboard down to the bar at one of the chairlift spots, and just sat there and drank for the rest of the trip. Oh, and I had the flu too. I didn't want to come, and he said, you got to come. And I said, I don't want to come. And he said, you got to come. And I said, okay. So I had the flu, so I had a fever, and ended up with a broken coccyx and drunk and hungover. Pre-COVID days though, I was broken tailbone, had the flu, drinking all arvo because I had nothing else to do while they were skiing. And then we went out all night to a nightclub. Yeah, I was like 20, 21 then. Well, probably like 23, but yeah. Good times. Oh, and he got pulled over by on the way out there. He had this old Toyota 4Runner, and it was a bashed up old thing, rattling like crazy. And he had aftermarket, wheels and tires and mud guards and suspension. It was jacked up and all of that. So we're driving down, and there's this police car, and he's doing like 15 Ks under the limit. And I'm passed out against the window with the flu, trying not to fucking throw up, and throbbing headache, and just trying to sleep, because we left at like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or something. And he's sitting behind this cop car, and he's like, why is he doing 15 Ks under the limit? I go, I don't know. He's like, should I pass him? I go, I don't know, whatever. If he's doing 15 under the limit, yeah, we'll just pass him, whatever. He's probably looking for something. So he passes him, and straight away the cop car just puts on the lights, goes, what are you doing? Pulls him over. He's like, what are you doing? He goes, what? He goes, you passed me, you sped past me, like You were doing 15 over the fucking speed limit, passing a police car that was clearly marked, like a highway patrol car. And he goes, oh, I thought you were doing like 15 Ks under the limit. I thought you might have been looking for an address or something. He said, no. He goes, oh, well, my speedo was saying, you know, you were doing like 65 and we were doing 80. And he goes, all right, well, I guess I have to defect your car because your speedometer's wrong. so the cop was like laughing because he was so blown away by the brutal honesty of him and the fact that he was clearly too stupid to lie. So he realized he was being honest and he just gave him a defect and said, look, within 28 days, get it measured and compensated, and then you'll be fine. No, you're off with a warning. He didn't even get a ticket. It was funny as. And here's me just like passed out with a fever against the window while all this is going on. in a foggy ass car. Good times. I'm handy with a soldering iron and looking for a project. Who sells quality amp kits? Speed Weasel. There's lots that don't. So stay off immediately, and I'm about to get into this. Don't buy anything from AliExpress. Don't buy anything from Amazon. Even eBay is pretty shit. Any of the auction sites, they're all fucking pus. Don't buy anything off them. Get something from Mojotone. I'm assuming you're in the US. Tell us where you are. If you're in the UK or Europe, probably buy a kit from Tube Amp Doctor. If you're in the US, try either Tube Depot or Mojotone. They're your best bets. I don't think Seriatone sell kits anymore, do they? They just sell fully completed amps. But if you can get a Seriatone one. Oh, you're in Melbourne. Okay. In that case, you're going to be up for shipping no matter what. But you know what? If you're after, even the StewMac ones actually, if you're after a kit, StewMac are expensive, but they cover all the shipping and everything. So they work out about the same once you take in all the shipping and stuff through Mojotone and whatever. Maybe shoot me a message, shoot me an email if you're in Melbourne, because depending on what architecture you're up for, it might be better if you buy something from Jason in Evolve DIY. Get a board off him, some chassis, front and back panels and whatever. If you want to build something badass, you could use some of Jace's gear. I've been talking to Jace the last couple of days, and I want to get some head first amps in my shop here. So we're gonna figure something out in the new year, and hopefully I can have some head first amps here. I want to get the Alta, obviously, being the flagship. But I'd love to have an Evil Joe here, and maybe one of his preamp racks, just to so if you want to try out one of his amps in person and you're in Sydney instead of Melbourne, you can come here and try it out and then decide whether or not you want to buy one. So that'd be a good thing happening, because Chase is a fucking legend. I crashed my snowboard at full speed, flew off a cliff, bounced off a snowdrift, and went skidding down the hill totally fine. Fucking hell. Did you buy a lottery ticket? You must, if you got up after that, it would have been better than being high. You would have been like, look at me. You would have had a wicked day. Oh, hang on. Next day, caught an edge while sliding to the chairlift and fell on my ass. Almost put me in hospital. Fucking chairlifts. T-bars are the worst. I could never figure that shit out. They dragged me up on my ass the whole way up the hill. It was really embarrassing. My mate thought it was pretty funny though. I had myself on the pre-order for his preamp, but too expensive for me right now. Oh, so how does that work with the pre-order? You can get off it? Mojotone is great, but when I bought a twin reverb kit, they did a piss poor job of vetting the parts. Customer service was fantastic though. Rush me the right stuff free of charge. Well, you know, like any of these companies, it's mistakes are going to happen, but how they deal with the mistakes is what defines the company, right? It's a bit like God, memory blank. Quilter. That Quilter amp I had the other day. Well, I sent him an email and said, look, this is what happened. And he's like, whoa, straight away, instant response, like a couple of hours later, an email, which is good for international. Holy shit, you did a good job of that one. And I said, well, it wasn't me, it was a customer. But yeah, he's blown it up good. And I said, do you have any like schematics, sections of the schematic? You don't need to send me a full schematic, but if you do want me to sign a NDA, I can do that too. Or just let me know what the part numbers are, or like just the ratings. Like you can often tell, you know, what value a resistor is, but you don't know the current rating because there's different package sizes that have different power ratings and stuff in the SMD stuff. So yeah, just let me know, like, you know, what power rating these resistors are, and I can read the part values on the other stuff. And he's like, yeah, no worries. So he sent me a written up schematic with even a little section of the PCB layout showing what parts go where, and that was Pat Quilter himself. So I was really taken aback by that. I thought, oh man, that's so good. They really stand by their product and they're willing to offer support. It's a bit of a thing though. Like you can imagine how many people would want to fix their stuff for free but have no idea what they're looking at or how to do it. They just want to save money. So it's a double-edged sword. If you're going to offer that kind of support, you're going to have to deal with people that don't understand what you're even saying, and then you'll end up going down a rabbit hole with them, and they just won't let you rest until they get something for free out of you. So he might have done a bit of vetting on me and realized that I am a repair guy, and maybe that's why he decided to interact. But either way, it was really good. We fixed that, and it's back in the owner's hands, and he'll try not to plug it into silly stuff from now on, which might mean it'll live longer. Seriatone still sells kits. That is who I recommend, especially for a customer in Australia. Yeah, I'd suggest Seriatone. They've got such a wide range now too, so you can find something in their range that's going to suit you, and they are good quality components. You might want to do some things like upgrade some of the electrolytics. I think some of the electrolytics are sort of generic. I haven't heard any bad things about them. I think they're actually pretty reliable, but just for peace of mind, particularly if it's like your gigging amp, you might want to just upgrade to some known parts where it's critical. But yes, feel free to send me an email and we can look at that together over the holiday period when I've got time. Now, he got to get him to make a 20 watter. Are you talking about Jace to make a 20 watter? Dunny, here you go, mate. Here you go, mate. That would be awesome to check out a head first amp. Yeah. I haven't seen one of his production amps in the flesh yet. I've seen millions of photos, but I've seen his mod work from years ago, and I'll be keen as to see one of his production amps. Rip it to shreds. I honestly don't remember the first amps I rebuilt. Really, Scotty? Bassboom was the first, I think, but it might have been some Japanese combo thing. The Japanese stuff is ubiquitous, eh? It's just everywhere. I called Soldano a while back and Mike answered the phone. That was pretty cool. Yeah, he's just a dude. He's just, yeah, a good dude. You know, he's busy building hot rods. Power to him. Had to pass on the Friedman Jose. I just didn't order when I got the email. Oh, okay. So that's how you don't order. You just ignore the email. Righto. So that's why pre-orders are a bit risky, because you get all this interest and you invest in all the parts, and then you end up with 20 amps that no one fucking has the money to go through with. First kit was the Magewell Custom 50 high watt, and I was missing 2 parts. They rushed them out right away. Brought an error to their attention. They were receptive. Excellent. Customer service, 100% satisfied. Yeah, I think Magewell is one of those companies that actually listens to you and doesn't assume you're an idiot and tell you to go fuck yourself like a lot of the companies do. For some reason, people think that's a good business model. But yeah, a bit weird. Hey Brad, I don't think I've heard you discussing Kempers. Do you hate them or have any opinion? No, I don't hate them. From what I gather, they're well built. They must be reasonably well built because I don't get them in for repair. I believe they're an actual decent company too that support their shit and actually listen to their customers and other techs. But yeah, from everything I hear, they're fucking amazing sounding and they're reasonably well built. The form factor's a bit weird to me. I get that they're trying to make it like an amp, but it looks a bit like a toy, like kitschy. It reminds me of like, back in the 80s when kids had those little pretend like dashboards with the little steering wheel poking out and they were like Fisher Price. It looks a bit like one of them. Or like an old, like it's trying to look a bit like an old mantle radio, but you either do that or then you go down the route of like the Line 6 Helix rack or whatever, and that's all business. But yeah, I don't know. It's a taste thing. The aesthetics of designing an amp is, it's totally up to the designer, I think. Because everyone, opinions are like arseholes, blah, blah, blah. What matters is how it works, how reliable it is, how easy it is to use, what it sounds like, and how long it fucking lasts, and if it does fail, if it's repairable. His Marshall mod amps sound awesome as well, yeah. I just, yesterday, put a, headfirst effects loop. Was it pre-branding change? Anyway, his Marshall reissue effects loop, high voltage effects loop upgrade. I put one of them in a JCM 800 reissue for a customer who has a couple of headfirst modded stuff. And yeah, it worked well and sounded great. He already must have adjusted the trim pot because it ended up perfect, like in terms of level. Straight away, didn't have to adjust anything on the scope. It was the exact right setting. So I don't know if he pre-adjusts them or there was no soldering connection to the HT or anything. All the terminals were still bare, didn't have any solder on them. So maybe he's just figured out the resistance that they're all at and just sets them to that because they're consistent. But yeah, it dropped in and did a whole bunch of other stuff to that amp. Some just road hardening. Rerouted some wires. I didn't redo the ground scheme because it was quite enough, but that is a scope for improvement on the reissue Marshalls. But this custom uses a attenuator quite a bit, so we put 2.2K screen grids in there just to give the EL34s a fighting chance. One of the EL34s had a shorter grid, so it was dragging that side's bias voltage towards 0. And on the valve tester, it hit the current limiter, so one valve was fucked, the other 3 were okay. We put a new set in there, and I did some slight voicing changes. Amped up the saturation so you could get a bit more gain. It's not really gain, it's more saturation out of the thing at higher gain settings. So I think you'll be very happy with that one, and gave it a full service. When will Brad's Guitar Garage amps be released? Yeah, one day. I think the first one I'll be releasing will be just a meat and potatoes 20 watt 2-channel thing with an effects loop. No reverb or anything. You just use a reverb pedal if you want that. Probably just a combo because Jace has got the head stuff covered, but a lot of guys just want to. They basically want a classic 30 or a blues DeVille, a blues deluxe that's fucking reliable and actually sounds good, right? Now the classic 30s sound good, but they're not reliable. So yeah, Liz, how you going, Liz Edwards? What's happening? Another big Clive legend. So yeah, probably just go EL84s. Could even do like a 5 watt thing, or not, it wouldn't be 5, but we're using a EL34, partially just because with all the EL34, just octal valve failures, you end up with like all these like single valves from a pair where one's failed. So it'd be good to have an amp where you can just use those, just to use spare valves. And a lot of guys just playing at home, that's all they need. But I'm not a big fan of how single-ended amps break up, and also the cost advantage of single amps. It's the single-ended amps is kind of not there because you kind of need a choke, so that's another thing. If you want, you know, very low noise, it's a good idea to have a choke in the power supply because you don't have the common mode rejection of a push-pull stage. I'm not a fan of how they break up, so if you are driving them in order to break up the output stage, I'm not a big fan of how they do that. But if your name of the game is to play quietly, you're probably not doing that anyway. Or you could just configure the gain staging so the output only just breaks up at full volume. Yeah, it's all stuff I could do, but the transformers need to be a lot chunkier for a single-ended output stage as well. The output transformer needs to be like twice the size, and you're drawing quite a bit of quiescent current, so your power transformer has to be a bit chunky. But you know, the AX84 kind of thing, everyone's a fan of that. It's pretty basic, but yeah, they're probably more suited to like an amp class, an amp building class. If we did something like that, you leave with a little choocher. But I'm always more inclined to go for a long tail pair phase inverter and a push pull output stage every time. Well, obviously if you've got a phase inverter. Man, some guy commented last night, went on a multi-paragraph screed about how much of a fucking idiot I am because I must have slipped up in a video and said radial instead of axial, or axial instead of radial. And he thought that was evidence that I had no idea what I was talking about, and that I'm a hack, and that I'm a loser, and that I should kill myself. People are fucking mental, man. Like, what kind of dipshit loser would spend their time writing paragraphs over a simple misspeak in a video? Fuck, the world is cooked, eh? First amp I recapped was a 60 Sun 100S. Wow. They were based on the Dynaco ST70s. They're fucking chunky amps. Oh, why does the chat have to jump? They still haven't fixed it after 15 years. Seriatone have used some weird axial multi-section caps in their amps, not in their preamps. Not easy to find direct replacements, but you can work it out. You can get the multi-section 33 microfarad F&Ts. I think I've got some floating around right above me. I'm not sure what value those ones you're referring to are, but you can get some from F&T. I tend to just use individuals though, because they're so small these days. Even the axial ones, you can get them. You can fit them anywhere. Right up your bumhole. Are rectifier valves necessary on modern amps? Not at all. Isn't it just one more valve to fail? I've heard Mike Soldano say that. Absolutely, Martin Reed. You're on the right track there, buddy. Because you can simulate, if you do want that effect, and oftentimes in Soldano style amps anyway, you don't want that effect of the rectifier sag. They work to basically okay, so they've got an internal resistance. Think of them as like a diode with a resistor in series with it. That's a rectifier valve, or two diodes with two resistors in series with them. Sorry, I can't do two things at once. They sag under load. So when you're really drawing a lot of current out of that output stage, they will drop that B plus significantly. And that will give you the effect of what they call power supply sag, which is actually a setting you can set in, like, I think in Helix and Kemper and stuff, to simulate that effect. And it works like compression, but quite crude compression. And it can be endearing and it can be fucking horrible, depending on the amp architecture. Now, just going to download something. Some amp manufacturers know this and do want that effect, but they don't want the added cost of a 3 amp 5 volt winding, you know, for a GZ34. The added heat, an extra valve position socket, an extra valve, which is another expense. So what they'll do, and Vox do this quite often, I'm just trying to find the schematic now. I tried to do it gracefully without letting you guys know, but I'm not that smart. C2X, is it? They actually, there was an error opening this file. Thank you. Piece of shit. What happened to the refresh button in the drop down menu? You got to hit Control R now. Fucking Windows 11. Pile of crap. I'm thinking about going to Linux for the streaming computer. I don't really use it for anything else. Come on. How big's this fucking file? It's taken ages to download. Anyway, while that downloads, Vox put some resistors in series with their rectifiers and created that effect just using two, I think they're like 10 watt, maybe, yeah, I think they're 10 watt 100 ohm resistors or 50 ohm resistors or something. And they simulate that same sag without the extra valve and just for the cost of 2 wire wound resistors. So that's the way to do it, Martin. If you want that. The advantage of doing it that way too is it's, well, you can do it either way. You can switch it in and out of circuit. So if you don't like it, or if you're going for a real tight overdrive, solid bass, no sag, just flick the switch to I think that Rode transmitter's fucked. I had that on charge all night and it's already dead. I'm not sure how long ago it cut off. What was I talking about? Not a lip reader, audio problem, still no audio. Is he on the phone? Where was I up to? No audio. Fuck, it was for ages. It's praising Messer. No audio, no audio, no audio, no audio, no audio, no audio, no audio. Fucking hell, was I talking for like an hour? Okay, I'm just getting in the stream because this is shit. Fucking stupid ass fucking piece of shit road. 10 minutes. Awesome. What was I talking about last? Died as I was pulling up the schematic. Been a few. Fucking great. This is why I need to fucking ignore half your messages and just be at the latest message. Ten minutes. Awesome. So, I was talking about this, was I? Yeah, so 22 ohms, that's to recreate the effects of a valve rectifier, basically. Saggy McSag face. I heard you respond to Soldano's comments on recto tubes. Okay. Backup redundancy in every technology. Okay, well, how does that work? You just got two mics on you all the time and you deal with the phase? No. Trying to figure out why my speakers weren't working. Well, that's really fucking disheartening. I don't even feel like streaming after that. I got the shits. Fucking... That Rode transmitter's fucked. Because I had that on charge all last night and just took it off charge to use and now it's not working. So I guess the battery's fucked. I had the guys from Rode Mackie drop in this week, so we might be stocking some of their products now that Mackie's picked up their game because they've been bought by Rode. Because Mackie were going down a dark road there for a while making crap, and Rode makes great shit. So I don't know that there'll be much purpose in buying anything or selling anything from Rode, because like there's massive warehouses that sell fucking thousands of units a week, and how the hell am I going to compete with their pricing? But yeah, it'd be good to have, apparently Mackie's got a new self-contained sort of personal PA system, which might be interesting. And I want to check it out in person first, make sure the build quality's decent. But he said, straight away, he said, oh yeah, you're in repair, cool. And he said, yep, if this was without prompting, he said, if you need any schematics or anything, just send us an email. We'll just get you to sign the NDA, and then we'll just send you anything you need. And I said, fuck, that's great. That's really good. Refreshing change. Maybe the tides on right to repair are turning a little bit. Anyway, let me go back up. When I try to track the chat and answer everything, that's what happens. So I was almost caught up to the part where the sound cut out by the time I saw the message up here. And thanks for the donation, by the way, to get my fucking attention. Oh, God, I'm so incompetent. Brad, if you had to design an amp, what would it be? Probably just like a master volume, Marshall-esque type thing with a Fendery type clean channel. That's what everyone wants. They want a scoop clean channel. They want a Marshally cold clippery type distortion, and effects loop, foot switchable, no built-in effects, just use an effects loop for reverb or tremolo. Keep it simple, push pull, output stage, long tail pair phase inverter, maybe a like I was saying, like maybe a 20-watt combo, a 50-watt head and a 100 or 150-watt head for the genty boys, and maybe a 5-watt for a amp builder course type amp, a kitschy little chucha. Definitely cooked. My stalker is making, oh my fucking god, my stalker is making AI videos about me and tagging me at 2 a.m. We gotta go find that guy and beat the fuck out of him. People are way too bold on the internet for their actual real life countenance. Guarantee that person has no idea what it's like to record yourself talking for a long period of time. I don't know what person you're talking about, but yeah, sure. I'm quite experienced talking to myself because it's the only way I can guarantee an audience that's willing to listen. Linux Mint is your friend. I tried Mint, didn't like it. Just went back to Ubuntu, the pleb Linux. Win 11 can lick my log cutter. Okay, Major Tom. Fedora KDE at my desk for the past month or two. How's it going? I did run Mint on a laptop a while ago, and then my audio's out. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but yeah. All repairs for free first of the year. Blah, blah, blah. I'm using rechargeable batteries in my Fluke because I'm worried about alkaline leakage. Rechargeables can leak too, though. And rechargeables put out less voltage, but it'd probably always have the flat battery light on if you got rechargeables in there because they're lower voltage. Still gives me an unpleasant feeling signing an NDA just for a circuit diagram. No biggie. Just bloody sign it and just, that's it. You use it and you fucking delete it. I like it when you do these as I'm winding down my even better when it's Friday here. Yeah, man. That's why I do it Saturdays. Amp can be called the Redbeard. Ah, man, amp naming is so cringe. Winding down my day, my brain is toast. Yeah, well, I'm winding up my day and my brain is toast, Richard, so don't feel too bad. Yeah, amp naming can be real fucking cringe because these guys think they're the best thing since sliced bread. It's just a fucking tool to play music through, man. Like, don't get too extravagant, but I like when the power rating is in the name and it's accurate, so not Messer. So yeah, like at 20, some blah 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 50, blah 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 150, whatever. I like the power rating being in the name. But yeah, there's a lot of conceited bullshit in amplifier naming, or just like cringy stuff that you can tell the builder is like still stuck in thinking what a 12-year-old boy would think is cool, like Bear Claw or something like that, or fucking the Eliminator or some shit. And it's just like, fucking settle down, champ. Settle down, champ. Duracell are the worst, Gooden. Don't use Duracell for anything. They all leak. I use either Panasonic or Toshiba for everything because they're great companies. And I get them in bulk in AA, AAA, D cell, C cell, and 9 volt. I forget the name for 9-volt. There's a name code for it. KDE is very similar to Windows UI wise. Recommended for people moving from Windows. I found that Ubuntu's probably feels a bit closer to Mac OS or whatever the fuck their operating system's called these days. Talking about the guy who gave you a hard time for misspeaking. Oh, was that where it cut off? Was it? Oh no, you just Sorry, trying to figure out what's going on in chat can be confusing if you're just glancing at it. The other thing about signing NDAs to an overseas company means multiple days time zone surfing before getting the documents. Yeah, but we've become pretty accustomed to that, haven't we, TK? Being in Australia, you order something that turns up 3 weeks later, maybe. What equipment do you use to test capacitors for value and leakage? I've got an ESR tester, but generally it's just cheaper to change the fuckers out when they're old, eh? Instead of pulling everything out and testing it. They say you can test in circuit, but there's always something that messes that up. You can test filter caps in circuit by the amount of ripple given the amount of current that is being demanded of them. But yeah, generally, more often than not, the test is, oh, it's gone completely open circuit, or it's leaking splooge all over the board, and all the others are too. So let's change them out. Friedman quaking in his boots. About what? I'm mates with Dave. Oh, you're talking about the amp naming. Well, I think, Dave has named his amps because he probably feels the same way as me. So he's taking the piss out of amp naming conventions. People take it seriously. They're like, oh, he's being sexist. Like, he's taking the piss out of all the other people that are naming stuff. The brown eye. Like, he's not calling his amp the brown eye seriously, is he? He's taking the piss. He's joking. But if he was to call it, the great equalizer, or the eliminator, or the Beretta, or something like that, that's cringy. Because you're portraying this weird, I don't know, just weird. 100 dB was too loud in my bedroom. 95 seems to be the sweet spot. Am I too old, or do I just need more scotch? Both. The rechargeable really leak. Yeah, I've seen it. Never seen it running about 40 now just for the Christmas lights. Maybe not as readily, but yeah, I've seen them fucking explode and shit. And leak. I feel someone could market a 1 or 2 knob amp and call it the finicky as an inside joke. Something so simple you couldn't possibly set it for a bad tone. I was thinking about doing that. An amp with no knobs. Good. Like, literally, you've just got your fucking guitar volume and that's it. And call it the just shut up and play or something. Make it like a tweed Princeton and yeah, just fucking have a good speaker in it, and that's all you need. Because you think about, a lot of the time, they're setting the input volume pretty high, so then they sit back on the guitar volume. So if you just set that to like where they always set the volume on the input, just put a preset attenuator on the front end, maybe change it to suit each player's taste, and then they just plug in, and it's just always that, it's always there. Morning all. Not converting roller into a roll B. Roll A into roll B. Yeah. I think one of the earliest Rickenback amps didn't have a volume control. Yeah, right. An amp with no knobs and call it the big knob. You are the knob. Be at one with your knob. Guitar players can make anything sound bad. Yeah. A few times in the last year or two, I've finished an amplifier and it sounds devastatingly good. And I'm sitting there going, fuck, I should build one of these. This is so fun to play. And you're sitting there and it's really juicing up and it's just right, everything. And then the owner comes to pick it up and the guitar's out of tune and and you know, they can't hold a bar chord without it zinging, and the bends overshoot or don't go far enough, and you're just like, holy fuck, you made this thing sound bad. But yeah, it's right. Keep practicing, keep working. Plenty of early lap steel amps had no knobs, not even an on-off switch. Just plug in and away you go. I think the on-off switch is maybe legally required. Most ancient amps had 0 controls on them. That's why the guitar had a volume and tone control on it. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how many volume and tone controls do we need? 6. 6. That's how many. So I don't know how long you've been here, 6, but I was talking for like a good 10 minutes there with no fucking battery in my transmitter. I can't do anything right these days. Sorry, just getting rid of my clag glue nose. Ah, bear with me. Even the worst guitarists like me should be able to make a G chord sound awesome through a good amp. Good guitar, good pickups. Yeah, you just got to work on that fretting hand, bro. Childish name. Bought a Fane Medusa speaker as a kid, thinking it was so cool. Now I'm a little more grown up. I know F75 the way to go. The singer in my band picks up my guitar and makes my rig sound like a Boss Metal Zone through a cheap practice amp. I always wonder if something's broken. Yeah, it's almost like it almost makes it sound broken. Sometimes it's that bad. And you're just like, holy. And then you pick it up and you're like, oh, no, it's good, it's good. But, yeah, they say, like, playing is in the hands. Well, I always sort of cringe at that a bit. So, yeah, playing's in the hands to a degree, but you're not playing Slayer through a fucking Tweed Princeton, are you? So to a degree, but, you know, if you play to the amp, you get the most out of it. And it is crazy how bad an amp can sound that's working perfectly well just from the playing technique. Yeah, I don't know. Get those metronomes, champions. Get those hand workouts. Go over to Dunn's channel and watch these exercises and bloody get tight. Get tight. Hey man, my lap steel Gibson has an on-off volume switch and sounds really nice. Yeah. So just like a champ, you mean, Joe? Like it's got the knob that click and then you turn it up. The CTS pots. Solder House. It's supposed to be good in Gig Harbor, but Portland have good techs. Solder House is a really fucking cool name for a tech shop. Huh. Solder House, German. Austrian. My favorite mouth breather was a dude with 3 fingers and too much jewelry who refused to plug an electric in because he needed to hear how it sounded unplugged first. Oh yeah, it's really breathing. The nitro is really breathing. He couldn't play to save his life, but insisted the guitar had to sound good, unplugged before it's plugged in. I don't know where the fuck these guys get their ideas from, man. You know, one of the fucking coolest players I ever had in my shop. So this is when I was working for the guitar stores, and I'd go down, pick up their amps and pick up their guitars, take them. It was actually really good for a home business, and if I ever do lose the shop or fucking just decide it's all too much and go back to being home, I'll probably just do that again. Just work through the stores and just deal with them getting a wholesale rate, because you got less overheads anyway. But you don't have to deal with individuals, and you don't have to deal with people coming and going to your shop and knowing that all the guitars and stuff are there and knowing your address and all that crap. And just dealing with people coming around. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I was coming home from a gig. I just thought I'd drop in and see if my amp's ready. It's like, what the fuck? I'm half pissed out the back. I'm stumbling around with fucking barbecue tongs in my hands. And then they want to pick up their amp. So that happened a few times. I thought, well, fuck this. I've got to get a shop. I've got to get this stuff out of home. But anyway, this one time I had this amplifier. I think it was an amplifier. I don't think it was a guitar. No, it might have been a Maton guitar, I think, actually. A bashed up old Maton. And the bloke wanted to pick it up. And I didn't have a chance to get down to drop it off. So I said, look, the Guitar Factory called me and said, he's from up that way. Is it okay if he comes around? He's a good guy. We'll back him. And I said, yeah, if you guys are back him, all right. Yeah, just tell him my address and it's ready to pick up, and he can just fix me up, and I'll give you the difference, whatever, because they made a cut on it. And he comes in, and I realize he's got no left hand. Well, what the fuck? So right hand's perfectly good. He pulls out a stubby cooler, so a beer cozy, and he's epoxied like a bit of timber dowel on the end of it, offset, like coming off one end, and he's got a glass slide glued onto the end of it, and he sits the Maton guitar down on his lap. There's like a CW series Maton, and he starts playing open tuning slide because he asked me to tune to Open G or something. And fucking incredible slide player with one hand. He only had his picking hand, and he was one of the best players I reckon I've ever seen in my shop. And he was a really cool guy too. An older tech I used to work with used to purposely play classical gas with the B string far out of tune to demonstrate certain types of customers. That would have sounded horrible. I don't know. I pick guitars by how they sound acoustically first too. Always have. Oh, yeah, I don't know. If you are playing non-plugged in, which is a good way of practicing, and it is resonant, then that does help. It tends to be just lighter guitars though. Like a lighter guitar will always sound better acoustically. Like it's just, if it's got lighter timbre and it's a smaller body, it's going to sound more lively. So that just means you're always picking SGs, you're always picking chambered bodies. Whereas like a Strat might sound zingy because of the pick guard, or a Telly with the ashtray bridge would sound twangy. So it doesn't mean they sound bad plugged in. It means they sound fucking awesome plugged in. But if you're just going off that acoustically sounding electric thing, wouldn't you always go for like a hollow body then? Or a semi-acoustic? Can confirm that Brent at Solder House is awesome. He will talk your ear off if you show any interest, but it's awesome if you're a nerd. You guys got to fill me in on this Solder House. He sounds like a good tech. I'm trying to expand our network. I'm not sure if I'm aware of this person. I might know them by name, not by their business. Let me just see. Their website is incredibly small, but effective. I'll do some research on this person. But yeah, if you want to send us any experience you've had with it, I'd like to reach out and see if they've got an online presence other than their business card website. Because I'd like to have them on my little database if they're good. A website looks unpretentious, which is a first step. That's good. I don't understand folks who never tweak their guitar's volume and tone knobs for a given song. Yeah. You sort of want to have somewhere to go, eh, Robbie? Like play with it about, 6 or 7 or something. 6, 7. And then, yeah, just put your volume at 6, 7. Tone at 6, 7. And then you got somewhere to go. I bet that guy posting a 10,000 post thread On a gear page, the effect of Honduran mahogany. Yeah, probably. Every time I pick up a guitar, suddenly an echoplex comes out of my fingers. Okay. So you're doing the old double stopping thing, or what? Got to use nitrocellulose inlays so you don't get the tone, yeah. It's all personal preference. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that SG that I got off U6, the 2008, it is very resonant, and partially because it's a lightweight, very small body, thin body. But it sounds really great acoustically. It's got a real upper mid-range resonance to it, which makes it pleasant to listen to acoustically. I couldn't give a fuck about that if I'm plugging in, but when I'm just sitting on the couch practicing, it is pleasant. But yeah, it's got no effect on the plugged in tone. Don't have to deal with organised crime burning down your shop either. What? Is that a threat? I don't think there's organised crime in guitar amp repair. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure they'll look for more lucrative fields than fucking guitar amp repairs. Are you going to discount Eric Johnson's weird idiosyncratic tone stuff? His tone is probably better than yours. That's cool, but I don't listen to anything he plays, so who gives a fuck? Hey, champions, how you going, Ben? What's happening, man? Yeah, so we'll discount most everything he says, with the exception of carbon zinc batteries in buzz faces. Okay. I hate guitars with the exact same pickups and parts in them, yet they sound... I have guitars with the exact same pickups and parts in them, yet they sound much different. To me, people who discount stuff because science are just as nuts as people who think paint changes the tones. Yeah. Look, things sound different, but yeah, I don't know. More often than not, it's probably differences in the pickups, variations in the pickups. I find it very difficult to believe that tiny changes in the density of the timber will, like the same type of timber, like completely different types of timber, like black and white, like heavy mahogany versus like poplar or alder will make a slight difference, but it's pretty minimal, man. Practicing with an electric guitar not plugged in is bad for technique. Fuck off. Big issue we had at the music school. No, it's not. Shush. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that too. Maybe for beginners that's an issue. Sorry, but that's the stupidest thing I've heard last time I saw RFK on YouTube. It can be measured. It can be proven, and vice versa. Science is science. But Scott Brockway purple always sounds better. I've seen guys play great slide with a champagne glass. Someone in Mary Chapin, I think that's Chaffin Carpenter's band, or a half full beer bottle. Danny, I think you mean Danny Gatton, or Golf Morris with Lucinda Williams. I think you got a few typos there, Gooden. What's going on, all right? You having a stroke, buddy? Science is correct until it's not. That's the point of science. Is our understanding of things is... Anyway, you two are going to argue forever because you're both fucking argumentative dickheads, but I love you both. Brett at Solder House is a weird amp hermit. Oh, that's a red flag. Who you generally want to email or call. He has done amazing things to old tube amps of mine that should have been unrecoverable. Okay, cool. Hey there, Brad from Petaluma, California. Right down the block from Mesa. Anyway, have a great fucking weekend, brother. You too, mate. Charlie. Thinking everyone has the same set of views is stupid too. It's almost time. Oh, hang on. What time is it? Oh, no. I open at 10 today. I think it's Friday. It's fucking Saturday. There are no absolutes. Hey, I don't know. I think there are absolutes. It's just a lot of stuff we couldn't be bothered standardizing. Science is also... Oh, come on, Scotty. We're getting into fucking particle fucking physics. Only organised crime with musicians. I don't think there's even organised crime in music anymore because there's no fucking money in it. There's only with tobacco, and the biggest organised crime over here at the moment is tobacco industry. Oh, and new old stock parts, probably. Yeah, new old stock parts, maybe vintage guitars. Probably a lot of dodgy shit going on there. Because it's very opaque and hard to prove things or disprove them, so. I bought a couple of amps that have broken glass inside upon receipt. Got my money back, but any advice about cleaning out the insides, etc.? Hopefully it's just busted tubes. Okay, so it's got smashed glass. So it probably got smashed from the, like during transit from the manufacturer to the distributor, or from the distributor to the point of sale. And they've replaced the valves but not cleaned the amp properly. So you'd have to take that chassis out and blow it out with compressed air and everything. Well, vacuum it up first. But yeah, get in all the nooks and crannies and get that shit out, because that's pretty bad if they're not cleaning it out after glass is smashed inside it. Yeah, you'd expect them to at least take the chassis out and oh, settle down, Scotty. We can have disagreements and not fucking decide to hate each other. Get out of that state of mind. I like you both, and you always fucking argue with me. So settle down. You don't have to dislike someone because they're fucking arguing with you. You just go, yeah, right, eh? Why has everything got to be like stand on a hill and fucking fight to the death? Just, God, I don't know. It's his fucking guitars. If he doesn't think there's a difference, he doesn't think there's a difference. You're not playing with his hands and his ears and his head. Haven't opened them up yet. I'm at least going to have a dust hood up to collect any powdered anything. You'll be fine. Don't stress too much about that, man. It's not going to be fucking going into your lungs or anything, but just chuck a vacuum through it. And you just, point being, you might have to get the chassis out because some of it's probably gone down in between the face plate and the front of the chassis and all of that stuff. So just slide the chassis out. Don't probably have a quick look inside, but be careful. The caps and stuff might be still charged depending on the model. You don't want to go poking around in it, but give it a shake. Just see if you can get the stuff out of the chassis, vacuum the top, vacuum the cabinet, and don't stress too much about it, man. It's the issues with the thing smashing, probably just, yeah, shipping damage, shock. What can happen is I've had, you probably saw on that Crab Satan that one of my customers out here, he shipped like the foot switch inside the amp. If you're shipping stuff internationally, I'd suggest removing all the valves from the sockets, padding the living shit out of them, and then tightly packing them back in the cabinet with lots of padding, making sure they cannot move at all. And if anything around it is going to move, secure that as well. Just, you should be able to pick up the amplifier before you package it, shake it, and nothing moves. Everything's tightly padded with bubble wrap and all sorts of stuff. And then put the back cover on it, hold it all in. And you just have to explain to the person at the other end, you've got to take the back cover off, you've got to carefully unwrap the valves, and you've got to put them back in these exact positions and make sure the pins are lined up. Don't force anything. Carefully wiggle it downwards. And yeah, you sort of, if you ship it with everything in there, something's going to go wrong. And you've got to assume that they're literally drop kicking the amp to get it to the destination. You can't take any chances there. Brad, how do you feel about the Mark G, MKG craze and the obsession with direct tones? MKG. Love them personally, but kind of hilarious that pedals are selling to capitalize it. Can you just fill me in on that? I'm not sure what you're referring to there. MKG. MKG. Okay. MKG used the boss. What? Oh, it's a person. Right, it's a musician. Who the fuck's MKG? Group. Nobody. Oh. I'm just looking them up. And they don't appear to belong to a group. Who the fuck are they? MKG. Michael Todd Gordon, better known by his stage name MKG, is an American. Career began in 2017. What groups is he in? 2-star on the Dream Police. I know nothing. Can you just fill me in on what the controversy is? That's why the US is so fucked. Yeah, Scotty. Don't hate 6. Pet peeve of mine. Yeah, that's all right. You don't have to shut up. It's fine. I guess one of the big things is you're going to notice slight differences in guitar response. Most notably when you're playing through something that's right loud, proper loud, and right on the edge of breakup. If you're playing crystal clean, you tend to notice less. And when you're playing fully distorted, you don't notice fuck all. You notice maybe the voice of the pickup by the pick attack, but there's not, and maybe the amount of bass is that how much sort of fuzz there is on top. But if you're playing in that magical zone right on the edge of breakup with a pretty loud amp, I'm thinking, you know, like a Tweed Deluxe or something, or even a Deluxe Reverb right on the edge of breakup. That's where all the guitar comes through the most. And the timbre of the guitar seems to be, it is a factor, absolutely, but it's way less so than what kind of pickup, how the pickup's wound. You know, things like strings make fuck all difference. Like, people stress so much about the brand of strings. Man, I barely notice, like, to tell you the truth. It's there, but it's like, it's down there. It's not fucking up here. So, I mean, there's people that specialize in this stuff and all the minutiae. I'm not one of them, right? People love to pretend that that minutiae is incredibly important too. It's a bit like the audiophile industry. They love to pretend that they can hear like the difference between everything, you know. And if you double blind test them, they wouldn't stand a fucking chance. But they've got golden ears, you know. Like, you've got to listen to this guy, and it's the way that you create notoriety out of nothing, right? It's a bit like having a YouTube channel and expressing your opinion, like I'm doing right now. It's a way to separate yourself from the rest of the crowd. Oh yeah, you've got to do this. Perfect example is that roller fucking weirdo. He uses gold-plated bus wire in his premium amp. It makes no fucking difference. No difference. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. He uses Semco, new old stock, 15,000 picofarad silver micas for every fucking single capacitor in that amplifier that's not a filter cap. Ridiculous. You know, for all the coupling caps, I mean. Instead of the 0.22s, the 22 nanos, instead of the 22 nanos you normally find in a Marshall amp, he uses the 15 nano silver micas everywhere. And then uses that as a point of differentiation from everyone else. Look, we're special because we use this. Okay, but is the final result justified in all that added expense and supposed guruism? No, it's not. It sounded like arse. So, what's the fucking point? Goal orientation. What we want is a fucking solid as shit, reliable as fuck amplifier that is versatile. Doesn't do just one thing. It can do multiple things. It can suit various different applications. That's my sort of priority, I guess. I don't know. It just sometimes feels like these people make a big thing out of things that don't matter, just to differentiate themselves as a sort of conceited, sales point. And then you turn their amp on and it oscillates and it hums like fuck. So what's the point? I don't know. To me, no oscillation, all the knobs all the way up, no hum, barely any hiss. That's the name of the game. Plus, when you play through it, great sound. Not, oh, we use these special little caps that no one else in the world has. And that's why our amps are so good. It's like, okay, but I turn the volume up to 2 and it sounds like it's going to melt. Why? That's up here. That's very important. And they ignored that completely. And then the tiny little minutiae, oh, we got gold-plated bus wire. It's down here. Like, who gives a fuck about your gold-plated bus wire when the amp sounds like it's going to self-immolate when you turn it above 3? And it probably will if you left it there because it's oscillating at 100 kilohertz. That's my point, Scotty. You know? But anyway, we're way off track here. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just using that as an analogy, right? Oh, Matty Johnson, welcome to the Dram Single Malt Club. That's the highest tier, brother. Welcome, enjoy your dram. Hopefully, I get to have a real dram with some of you fuckers at some point in the future. But going off the social media vetting that the US is going to be doing, I won't be going there any fucking time soon, I'll tell you that much. Speakers do have a massive effect. I think, just for argument's sake, Scotty, I think the architecture of the amplifier, or the preamplifier, is probably the most significant, followed by your type of pickup. Not the pickup, but the type of pickup, whether it's a humbucker or a single coil, the most important. Third's probably a speaker. What's going on outside? There's people yammering. Oh, rich people with boats. Okay. Seems like everyone around here is rich but me. They've all got boats and 4-wheel drives and shit. I've got a watch. $200. Yeah, I think they're probably the most 3 important in that order. So preamplifier architecture, followed by pickup type or pickup design, and then speaker. Would you agree? Because the preamp, let's justify it. Let's dig in. So the preamp design defines, is it going to be high gain, low gain, medium gain? How's it going to break up? That's pretty fucking important. That's massive. That's like changing between channels. The second your pickup type interacts with the front end of the preamp, and depending on the architecture of the preamp. So some preamp architectures like a 2203 hot rodded, or like a fucking Soldano, when you got all that gain cranked up, I think that the pickup type melds together quite a bit. Like you can get chugs out of a single coil with a Soldano, and then like a really bright Fender style preamp, you can get nice jangles out of a humbucker, but they'll act very differently to each other in each in between those two extremes. Like a moderate breakup, the difference is massive between a humbucker and a single coil. And then the speaker, although it doesn't really affect the breakup characteristics of the preamp, when you crank it up it does, but I'm talking moderate volumes. The frequency response of the speaker just shapes the overall tone, but the pick attack and the feel, the feedback you get through the back of your spine while you're playing, I think that's got a lot to do with the pickup type. And obviously the scope for, the character of the breakup is all coming from the preamp. Anyway, I'm talking shit right now. It's always been hilarious to me. The guitarist will argue for hours about the minutiae of pickups or tone wood or whatever, and then pretty much ignore the speaker. Yeah. So I guess that's our point, Scotty. The yeah, we were worrying about stuff like that, and then they ignore, and then they go and buy like Temu pickups, or they'll worry about the material of the fret wire, and then they'll use a $20 curly cord that's like noisy as shit. It's funny. It's weird, but it often goes back to amplifiers. Like guitarists will spend $8,000 on a Murphy Labs Les Paul, and then they'll play through a, like a little Walter. I don't know. Strange. Buying with the eyes. My point was really just worry about how you feel about stuff. Other opinions don't really matter. Yeah, can't hurt us. Whatever works for you, whatever you play, whatever you get the warm and fuzzies from, that's what is for you. And in this day and age, we need our fucking warm and fuzzies. We need our little comfortable little things to recoil from the horrible world into. So whatever makes you feel passionate. If you get excited when you're at work and you're thinking about changing your presets on your mill or modeler, that's the unit for you. If you get excited when you think about switching that tweed amp on and smelling the box and fuck, I said it again. Smelling the cabinet and the shellac and the smell of a vintage amp. Or a new amp, this nice smell of a Tolex. It's probably just sniffing glue, but at the end of the day. But if that's what gets you excited, then that's what it is for you, and that no one else can take that from you. No one can argue. I packed the valves wrapped in foam, inserted into a section of PVC pipe. That's a good idea. You might want to watch out for that these days, Sean, though, because they might think it's a pipe bomb. You get a fucking SWAT crew coming around to unpack your amp. I don't think they'll be very gentle with it either. Have a robot exploding your amp from a distance. Organised crime was in relation to John Shub's shop burning down. Broke my heart. I didn't know anything about that. Scotty, I've been playing for 40 years, worked in a shop, played thousands of guitars, played hundreds of shows, etc., etc. There's something to some of it, not all of it for sure, 100% agree, but some of it, absolutely. Hiccups, sorry. He gets his guitar tones plugging directly into a Tascam tape recorder and overdriving the shit out of it. Oh, so hang on. Okay, so I saw this recently. Someone made a fucking Porter Studio input stage and put it in a pedal and made it all retro looking on the outside. And is that what you're talking about, son? The Tascam front end, just the op amp front end. Hey, is that what you're referring to? Okay. Little things hyped, so including them in a product can demand a higher price. Yeah. Okay, so that must be what you're talking about. Feel is a big factor. Being excited about what you're playing is a factor too. Yeah, being excited about what you're playing is the most important, but people tend to... That's a lot harder to crack. That's a lot harder egg to crack. So people get excited about their gear instead because it's easier dopamine. You can just pay an instant dopamine when it turns up, Playing is a harder dopamine to crack. But when you crack it, it's so much better. Clip that one out. Highly recommend watching music vids for his song Candy. Are you looking up? I'm just listening to the song I want. Well, I'll check it out. All right, I've got to catch up on the chat. Hardcore. Greetings from South Carolina. I had some really good South Carolinian style barbecue here, Matty. And that was at the Good Things Festival. And then me and my mate had the best smoked foods, and then immediately after he vomited it up into a bin because he had sunstroke. But he said it was good because he got to taste it on the way in and the way out. So I've made you all feel ill. Any shipping companies you avoid due to past issues? Yeah, I avoid Pack and Send because they consistently lied about the weight and size of things and overcharged. I'd send something. I always round up on the weight, so if it's like 9.6 kilos, I just say it's 10, so they can't say, oh, it was over what you told us. But they said, yeah, it was 16. And I'm like, and that wasn't going off the cubic rate either, because I showed them the quote and I ended up getting a refund, but fuck, it took some time. They just see if they can get away with everything. They're just one of these companies that just puts extra charges there, and then they rely on slippage and people not paying attention, because the vast majority of things would be through a company, and the employees don't give a shit if a company gets charged more. They just let it go through, and they use that as like an additional charge, basically breaking the law and just charging for fees, charging fees for services unrendered, and just see if they can get away with it. And that's scum shit. I don't have any respect for fuckers that do that. Show me a meter I can buy that measure phase shift. It's called an oscilloscope, Scotty. What do you mean? I get a lot of players who don't care or even prefer their older Marshalls are noisy. Goggled up, still redoing the ground schemes. Yeah. Man, the thing is, your noise modulates the signal and actually does affect the signal itself. It's not just noise sitting there, you know, innocuous noise in the background. It is modulating your signal and causing the character of the notes to change, and basically almost like ghost notes and you know, products and sums and differences mixed with your actual signal. And it's, once you get a real clean, quiet amp, it really comes to life, and the dynamics of your performance really do improve, I think, particularly for recording. The more someone goes on about brands of caps and resistors they use, the more it tells you they don't have the confidence to stand by the work or understanding the actual circuit. Yeah, Andy, it's a bit like we were just talking about with getting the instant dopamine from buying gear instead of actually digging down and playing the fucking thing. I hope to make it down to Australia someday. My wife and I have talked about it for a long while, though neither of us in a mood to travel abroad while a certain orange man is in power. Now, I'm feeling you. We were supposed to be there next year. Not happening now. We'll be going to Canada, hopefully. It's just going to fucking suck so much being in the same hemisphere, like a matter of 1,000 kilometers and stuff away from some legends I really want to catch up with, and just not interested. Not until Nuremberg 2. Keith plugged into a cheap cassette tape recorder as a preamp and an acoustic guitar with a pickup. Yeah, right. They just did whatever worked back then. I saw that Zach Wild JCM 800 is going for over $7,000. Is it just a hype? I'm sure it has to do with his name. I've had one of them in. Fucking hell, are they going for $7,000? Are they? It's just a reissue with a few voice mods. There's nothing you could literally turn a stock JCM 800 reissue into one pretty fucking easily. It's just the graphics on the front people are paying for. Soon people are probably going to start faking them. Well, I think I would swap pickup type and preamp. Okay. When I think about styles, I'm more tied to guitar and pickup versus the amp. But what I'm referring to, Mr. Grinch, is the preamp architecture. The difference between a Soldano and a Tweed Princeton. I don't know why I keep saying Tweed Princeton today. It's just the amp I've chosen to live rent-free in my head. Massive difference. Like, you're not getting Soldano tones out of a Princeton. You're not getting Princeton tones out of a Soldano. So that's why that's the biggest factor there. Second factor being the pickup. Third factor being the speaker, I think. Maybe even the other way around. Maybe second factor speaker, third factor the pickup. Have you ever listened to Gary Moore? The Messiah Will Come Again, live from Montreux? No. I'm in my 70s and keep returning to this as best playing ever. I've got to listen to more Gary Moore. Maybe today will be Gary Moore day. I haven't, listened to a lot of Thin Lizzy, but I haven't listened to a lot of his solo stuff. Tone is in the fingers when you touch the B+, yeah. Very, very aggressive tone when you touch the B+. I agree about top 3 for sure. I do think straight up number of speakers makes a huge difference as well. Yeah, well, you get a degree of comb filtering from them as well. So when you got the single speaker, you think of it sort of like a point source. But when you got multiple, you do get a thickness that comes from, probably to a degree, a bit of comb filtering from you moving around. It does change slightly too, and it creates a bit of a wave front. Firefox and Chrome's crashing. That's fun. So many companies, including JHS, capitalize on buffered input with variable gain. Yeah. I mean, that is a very versatile thing to have in front of a slightly lower gain amp or a JTM45 kind of thing. Hi, BGG. When will we see that video about amp voicing? You know what? I think that might be something I do over the holiday break. I don't have much time at all to film video at the moment. I was almost going to not do this live stream and just film, but it's the second last live stream of the year, so I thought we better do one. Next live stream being next Saturday when we do the barbecue day. It's already that time again, champions. It feels like yesterday we were doing that. It's just watching a Q&A with Alex Honnold. And some guy listed his super complicated workout routine and asked what he could do to improve his climbing. And Honnold just said climb more. Yeah, pretty much. It's like building amps, I guess. Just don't get West Virginian barbecue unless you like mountain oysters. Yeah. Well, you know, did just come back from Japan where they eat all sorts of crazy shit on the barbecue. Barbecue tastes a lot better going down than if it's going back up. Yeah, I reckon it would too. Mark, naughty boy. Don't forget to smash that like button. It's free and easy like your mum. Good on you, Marcus. Today here on Rounding Up, I do my own packing, but haven't had any trouble with UPS here. Haven't tried DHL yet, but haven't shipped anything amp size international for a long time. The guys to talk to about that are Dave Friedman and Jace from Head First. So I might touch base with them about shipping internationally. I need to probably start a Zonos account and start shipping to the States again, as much of a fucking pain in the ass it will be. I love that you guys were whinging about me charging 50 Australian dollars to ship, which is like, I don't know, 29 American dollars, to ship one of my boards to the States, incredibly well packed, oversized box, double corrugated. So 50 Australian was exorbitant, but I tried to order one potentiometer from fucking CE Distribution, and they wanted $80 US to ship that one potentiometer, which could have been shipped in a fucking, you know, padded envelope to Sydney. So don't you talk to me about shipping costs, you motherfuckers. Yeah, I like making gear more than playing. Hey, whatever's for you, man. You use 2 channels, one pre and one post. I missed what you're talking about there. How does an oscilloscope measure phase shift across frequencies? Well, you have to have your 2 traces and one. Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. 2 channel. You use your 2 channels. You show the waveform pre and post the whatever processing, and there's your phase shift. Right. That's literally what the 2 traces are for. That kind of thing. Something about eating pig nuts just doesn't sound interesting. Being in Australia, are there any particular make model of amps you've always wanted to try out or work on but haven't made it down to you? Yeah, Matty, trainer stuff. I'd love to have a trainer. I know the architecture, I know pretty much what they'd sound like, but I'd really like to work on one because they look really good, and I'd really like to open one up in 2 ways. One on the bench and one opening up the volume and really cranking it up. Shipping is why I stopped building. Yeah, it sucks, man. It's yeah. Give it a listen, Brad. It'll be worth it. Yeah, well. Did someone mention workout routines? I got told that I lost weight the other day. I think it's just because I got my beard trimmed. Last time the dude came in, I think my beard was out like this. Yeah, I did eat Gooden says, when my Greek and French ancestors slaughtered an animal, they found a use for everything except the squeal. As kids would gross out friends eating lamb's brains and eyeballs on Easter. Yeah, I had like pig anus and stuff in Japan on the yakiniku. Intestine, and one was actually a sheep uterus. It was interesting. I didn't know what it translated to until I translated it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just eat sheep uterus. It's sweet, I guess. I use everything, man. Brad's not the one to blame for shipping costs and tariffs to the US, yeah. It was going good there for a while, Gooden. It was shipping like 2 or 3 boards a week. It was great. It was good little turnover, and I was gearing up for the next production run, and then it all just fucking hit a wall. Technically, if you got your beard trimmed, you did lose weight. Yeah, well, guess so. Never had a chance to play a trainer either. Being a bit Black Sabbath fan, I've always wanted to give an old Laney supergroup a go. Yeah, I just did a master volume on a LC30BL, one of those new non-master volume things. We put a he wanted a post phase inverter master volume, and I put one in. Tried a type 1 and type 3 and type 2 Lamar, and they sucked. Didn't like the sound of it, so I just went back to a pre-phase inverter master volume, juiced up the preamp a bit, and it was great. He was happy with that then. And removed the jack PCB. Might as well show you some. Just see if I got the card here. I think it's in the camera still. Get my tweezers to pull the card out because I can't do it while the screen's out. No, can't use tweezers. They're not grippy enough. Fly as it is. Come here, SD card. Gotcha. Feel like I'm playing Operation. Remember that game? Plug in. Oh, I just did a horror show messer too. I'm doing a video on that. Where's the first photo? I didn't take a photo of it. Damn it. I was going to take a photo of the amp before I finished it too. God damn it. Desk share. There we go. So that was the stock speaker output board. There's the amp. Bit of a strange amp, some hybrid surface mount and through-hole construction. It's basically a rip off of a JTM45 essentially. That's the output board. So I ended up removing that. It's got a resistor there. It's just a backup in case you don't plug anything in. Stops the output running away. Flyback event. I ended up going with flyback diodes on the sockets. That's the master volume. Got some coax. We've removed a cap there. Put a new cap in, lifted it at one end, and just tapped into the signal right before the phase inverter. That's where there was no cap before. I put a bright cap in there. You could see there was infrastructure there for basically a JTM45 circuit, but they left some bright caps out and sounded real dark and dull. They had full bypassing, so I changed that to 0.47, and that tightened that treble channel up quite a bit. Changed the value on the bright cap down there. That's the new V-Shay in its place. Just had generic shit there before. That's the new output sockets. Flyback diodes, upgraded the screen grid resistors. Oh, and that's the Marshall before I did the work on it. That was the solder joint from the Marshall factory. He was wondering why the signal kept dropping out. Well, that's why. It was never soldered. Just pulled it off like that. Yay! Anyway, that's all the photos. Yeah, it worked out alright. He was pretty happy with it. So, another happy customer. Another job out the door. one less in the in the storeroom. Jason must be paying a mint to build and ship to the US. Yeah, it's not good. Why do you think that we should be able to make a living? You know, we should just be slaves. Our entire existence should be just doing Amazon training modules and then working in a factory where you got to piss in a bottle because you're not allowed to go to the toilet. That's the future we've all got to look forward to. And that seems to be everything they're working towards is that. The whole fucking population being that. You just can never earn enough to get comfortable. You always got to be in debt. You always got to be. If I just work a little bit harder this week, I might get ahead. And then you work a little bit harder, and then the costs go like that. Oh, I'm back where I was. Okay, well, if I work a little bit harder this week, I might get ahead. Oh, and then the costs go like that. It's just they've gamed our entire fucking existence, and I'm so sick of it. And then all this shipping shit is just the same thing. They're just making sure that no small business can get ahead. No small business can be created or grow. Only the big businesses are allowed to exist. Everyone else got to be a slave to them. It's fucked. I'm so sick of it. Anyone that simps for these fucking companies needs their fucking head examined. How's that kid you were training up? Still working on mixes and such. We've been so busy here. I just told him we're not going to have a chance to do anything till the new year. When things are hopefully quietening down a little bit in January. Although, judging by the amount of inquiries, January is going to be like floodgates opening for repairs, I think. Because every day we've got 3 or 4 people that are, oh yeah, I'll come back in January. So, I think January is going to be quite dramatic in the first week or two of being open. I was going to open again on the 13th because we're closed Mondays. Because that's when I work at the home workshop, do guitar stuff instead of shop stuff. But I don't know. I might take another week off this year like I did last year and go to Nelly Jam Festival at Nelligen because that was really fun and some of my mates play there and it was really good to just have another week to just zen, walking on the beach every day, swimming, floating in the ocean, going to breweries, eating, cooking, and not thinking about work. Every year seems to be getting more and more intense and more pressure. And I look back at how I don't keep a journal, but these videos are kind of like a journal for me. And I'll go back and watch a live stream from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago when I started the shop. And every Christmas I'm stressed, but it feels like the clamp's getting tighter every year and it's harder and harder to make less and less money. And I don't see it getting any better anytime within the next 20 years. So yeah. New Year's when all my stuff is going for work, 6 guitars and amps, Xmas. Christmas is expensive. I agree with what you're saying about business. You're talented in many fields and you deserve to succeed. Thanks, mate. I don't think it's as good as my last fuck up, though. It's the same as any industry. Yeah, that's right, Scotty. This started when they made corporations have the same rights as citizens, which gave them the power to lobby. It's such a bullshit, man. And we have the result now, a dystopia nightmare. Yeah. Taking 2 weeks off over Chrissy here. First time off all year, besides a couple of consecutive days around my birthday. That's the way to do it. And they're able to do so because my tax return is hopefully coming through. I don't get tax returns anymore. I just get tax bills. Wind up working in a gas station. Alright, he's quoting Zephyr again. The weed must have kicked in. Seems I'm working twice as hard for as much money. Exactly. Think about why. And don't fucking say immigrants either, because you know that's not the problem. If we made corporations pay tax, we wouldn't have this fucking problem. Yeah, at the same time they tell us how good everything is. Yeah, don't fucking... Don't believe that shit. Look at your fucking material conditions. and ask them why they're bullshitting you. They're pissing on your back and telling you it's fucking raining. Trickle down my ass, trickle down my back while you're pissing on it, you fucking pricks. Pardon me. Should we do some work? Gary Stevenson, who the fuck's that? Current employment ends Friday. Oh, your contract's over, eh? You know what it is over here, Scotty? They need to heavily tax everyone on their second property. You shouldn't be allowed to just fucking hoard property. It's fucked up. Alright, so a boring one to start with. Choking up my own tongue. Just got to make some cables, bro. So, he's decided, I made these for him a while back, just speaker cables. Or a few weeks ago, not that long back. But he's decided he wants 2 straight ends. He wanted one angle, but one straight. So now I'm just going to give him 2 straight ends. I'll just snip them off, throw them back into stock. I'll use them on something. A Deanston single malt's going down a treat. Good to hear, buddy. I've got to try some Deanston. I haven't had it yet. There's a new one here, Martin, which I think I might have mentioned in a previous stream, called Amber Lane. Amber Lane. Let me have a look. Amber Lane Distillery. So I went to the local bottle shop, liquor store, as you guys call it, and there was a representative from this company who was flogging their wares. What would you call it? Peddling. Am I of legal drinking age? I think so. Australia's best whiskey. Oh, coming out strong. Yeah, I think they got 3 main types. They might have more, but they've got a membership. When you buy a bottle and you sign up, there's a monthly fee, and they send out cask straight from the cask samples from that batch each time they do a bottling. Oh, they got quite a few. Sleigh bells. Yeah, right. Noble Lane. I think I got the... No, not the Equinox. I got the Liquid Amber, that one. I kind of wish... I wish this from all manufacturers, that they would do away with the fancy box. Just sell me a fucking bottle, because that's all that's going in the cupboard anyway. I could take the box and I throw it straight in the bin. Don't put magnets in it. Don't put silk in it. Just give me the fucking bottle, bro. But I don't know. People that collect that shit love that stuff. I don't. I reckon it's wasted money. You could get the cost down $20 if you just sold me the bottle, couldn't you? But it was very good. I was quite taken aback with how good it was, actually. Because yeah, I had a Hellier's Road from Tasmania the other week, and wasn't very impressed, and it wasn't cheap. But one taste of that stuff and I was like, whoa, strong, nice. I won't say smooth because it's overused, but very what would you call it? very subtle but complex. Like when you get something like the Glenfarclas 105, when you first open that bottle, it is fucking spiky. And you can taste every individual ingredient distinctively, and not in a good way. It tastes like a bunch of ingredients mixed together. But then you leave that bottle open for a while, let it oxidize for a bit, maybe even decant it a few times, just get some oxygen into it, and then let it sit for a few months. And all of those individual distinct flavors meld together as one big flavor. And to me, that tastes like a properly matured whiskey. So the Hellier's Road was like that previous. It was all indistinct, spiky... it was distinct, spiky individual tastes that weren't working together as a team. So hopefully that bottle, now it's been opened, will do a similar thing to the Glenfarclas and sort of become a big, tasty beast, but maybe it won't. So I was expecting something a bit like that, which is kind of what you get from some Australian whiskies, particularly the no-age statement ones, the younger ones. But you got to give them time, so we'll see how they go. But then I had that Amber Lane, and it was that big taste monster, beautifully. Oh God, my fucking words are failing me. It was good. Oh God, I need to read more, so I've got more word things. What type of cable do you use? This one's just Altronic speaker cable. It's just a speaker cable. It's not a guitar signal cable. Why not get the second cable? Huh? Brett, I don't think I've ever heard your thoughts on Jazzmasters. Yeah, they're right. Offsets are cool. I don't like the short scale length. A lot of them are set up wrong. They try and set them up like a Strat, and there's not enough diameter pressure on the bridge, so they rattle. Or tuning stability can be an issue. But if you set them up, because they're supposed to be set up like an arch top, they're a Jazzmaster. So if you crank up that bridge a bit, angle the neck back a touch, you get that down pressure on the bridge and they stop rattling, and you don't have to go for a Mastery bridge or whatever expensive, insert name here, bridge. You can just get away with one of them. You know what? I'll put a gold one on one end because I ran out of the chrome one, so I might put a gold one on the other end too, just so they match. Gold on a speaker cable's stupid, but they're only $1 or something different. I'm not charging him for this. He's a good customer. I'm just going to change him over for him. All whiskey tastes the same if it has the same alcohol content. Okay, Scotty. You believe that? It's true. Don't worry, 6 is gone, I think, anyway. There you are. Hang on, he wants another cable. He wants a 12 meter straight to straight and a 6 meter straight to straight. Okay. That can be arranged. Alright, so 2 new straights. Just use an amphenol for everything. I used to think Scotch tasted like turpentine, but that's because I'd only drunk Johnny Walker or something. I don't know, man. You could buy a lot of beer for 169 bucks. Yeah, fair bit of beer. Don't see Pops in the shop. He got sick of you already. I told him to have today off because he's been working like a dog all week. We've been helping my auntie move into a new place just around the corner. She came from like country New South Wales. So there's been a bit of a culture shock there for her, being in suburbia now. But she's got some mobility issues and stuff, so we need to set all the stuff up. So I'll be going around there after work here to give him a hand with the remainder of the whatevers. I told Dad to go for breakfast or something with Mum today. I think they're watching right now. He did a Vox AC30, did a God, I've already forgotten. He did a bunch of stuff. Some ears keep popping. Oh, AC15, sorry. It's dark in here, I can't see everything. He did some mods to the valve tester. Turntable. Some other things, and that Ace Tone. So he's been a busy boy. Brett, is that Canare GS6 cable? I remember you made guitar cables with it before. What do you use for speaker cables? So that this is just it's Tektronix 2192 speaker cable. Yeah, Dad probably is sick of me already, actually. Good point. Still hate JD, though. Yeah. Not great. Yeah, I had a Maker's Mark a few months ago, and it's not too bad. I mean, it was pretty meh, like not a lot going on, but it wasn't unpleasant. What's your favorite down record? Yeah, probably 2 for me as well. K-Metal, because I just loved well, it helps if you turn the soldering iron on. I loved Rex's really aggressive metallic sounding bass sound on that album. It worked really well. It was really brutal. But I love the first album too, because it's just a classic album, dude. It's like it scratches the same itch as Sabbath. I've been drinking Singleton 12-year-old recently. Nice, smooth, and full flavor. Yeah, it's not bad. It's inoffensive. It's competent. Gazcal. I find there's not quite enough going on in the Singleton 12-year-old for me. It's a little bit I don't know. Not as complex. It tastes a little bit like a blend. I don't know. It's hard to say because blends vary so much. You know what's some good blends? Believe it or not, Johnny Walker Green Label. Don't buy the Blue Label bullshit. It's all marketing crap. The Green Label Johnny Walker's not bad. I was quite impressed. One of my mates, when I broke my leg, when I was immobilized from the knife through my foot in 2020, one of my mates got me the Celebration blend, Johnny Walker. It's a white label thing, and it was pretty good too. I don't like alcohol at all. Prefer... And the fucking chat jumped. Fuck, that's frustrating, man. You start reading and then it just goes... And then you got to scroll back and find where the fuck you're up to. I don't like alcohol at all. Prefer weed. Okay. I think Drambuie tastes like a 3 times used jockstrap. Okay. I won't ask how you know what that tastes like, but Six always leaves with me. He slings some ad hominem and balls because I piss him off. I think he's just busy, Scotty. I wouldn't read too much into it because the thing is, he's waking up when I'm streaming, and then he's getting his shit together, having a shower and stuff, and going to work. So it's not that he's taking anything personally. It's just he's dealing with life because of the timing. Now he's working the coffee machine. Oi! Yeah, I could use another one. Thank you. While you're there. I'm just going to have to skip the chat and go up to the latest because I'll miss something if I don't. Got it. Seems to hide comments and filters top comments by default. You just got to set it to live chat instead of set it to live. Oh, hang on. Are you talking about video comments? Right. Yeah, the default, you got to set it to recent. They've just changed the stupid fucking engine that Creator Studio works on, so now all the defaults are the least convenient. I don't know why they do that. It must be monetary reasons from their point of view to, or maybe to pressure you to make more content or something. I don't fucking know. But now you've got to manually change it to most recent comment, and it'll show you one comment from like a week ago, like at the top all the time, every time, and it's just some innocuous comment, someone just going haha or something, and it'll treat it like it's the most important comment in the world, and it's always at the top of your feed. I don't know if YouTube's just programmed by an algorithm now, but every time they change something, it's inexplicable, it's incredibly dumb, frustrating, and it's also negatively affects productivity every fucking time. So one day I'll probably just get sick of it, and that'll just be the last you hear from me on YouTube, because things just keep getting shitter and shitter every fucking year. Or one day it'll just decide it doesn't like me saying fuck, and then it'll just shut my channel down. Who knows? That's why I don't take this YouTube shit too seriously, boys. Because one day it could all just be over for no reason, and good luck ringing the algorithm on a phone and asking why it did what it did. And even if you could get someone on the phone, they don't have to justify anything to you because we've got no rights. They just decide what they want to do when they want to do it, and we just have to go along with it. Sorry, I'm going to pass that through the hole. I'm talking shit, and I thought the speaker wire was thicker than that. Some of the speaker wire you got to tack solder it, which is a bit shit. But this stuff's thin enough to pass through the eyelet, so we'll do that. Also to say bandwidth, yeah, maybe. So we do have a Michelle in the chat now. I can't help but wonder, woman, are you going to come down and give us a hand today, or run the shop for me? Tell everyone to go away. Alright, gotta mess this one up. The wiring is just thin enough to make it through the eyelet, but if you don't perfectly tin it before doing so, it won't fit. So I might have to cut this one and re-terminate it, because it's not making it through the eyelet, which is why I don't want to go for a heavier speaker wire. Come on. You can do it. Very frustrating. No, I'm going to have to redo that one. What a fucking pain in the ass. Got a chopper outside. Yep, got it. Just had to desolder it a bit. Still annoying, but got there in the end. What do you reckon? Should we give Dad a mic again when he gets here and see if he goes to the toilet with it again like last time? Oh no, we can't because it's dead. It's the one that died before. I've never put the wire through the hole like that. It depends on the gauge of the wire. If you can, that's a good idea. That's why it's there. It only messed up because you're being watched. I can't do a single thing properly if somebody is watching. Yeah, it's like that when a customer wants you to do stuff on the spot. Everything goes wrong. Just everything that you've never had go wrong before will go wrong when a customer's watching you. And the universe just conspires to make you look like a fucking twat when you're doing stuff in front of a customer every fucking time. There's a reason techs don't do stuff on the spot, and the ones that do have balls of steel. YouTube stops videos so they don't have to pay the posters. Then they put a message on your screen that says the video paused. Do you want to continue? No lie, the video did not pause. So you don't have to pay the posters. I used to get that uBlock Origin gets rid of it. It's time to open the shop, champions. No, Brad. What? What did I do, Mum? Picking through a PV Triumph 60, which smoked a couple of resistors, PI dropper and tail resistor. And then was bodged by the previous tech. Yeah, carbon excavation. Fun, yeah. That's the name of the game over here, mates. Pretty much, probably 30-40% of the amps have to have previous people's work undone before we can do any repair work. And usually the undoing of the work takes 3 or 4 times longer than the actual repair. It sucks, man. These guys just keep hacking up amps. It's very, very rare that I do see competent work inside an amplifier. It's sad. And the whole reason I do this is the video thing, I mean, is to show you what good work looks like. Scotty! What's going on, legend? Did you have a gig last night, buddy? Oh, no, you're out fishing, weren't you? Good man. It's the way to do it. Everyone say hi, Scotty. Hi, Mr. Kingman. Do you remember that at school when you had to, like, say hello to your teacher? Alright, what do we need? 6 meter and a 12 meter speaker cable. Fucking hell. Alright. So this is pretty handy because the tiles in my shop, the carpet tiles, are exactly half a meter long, so I can just go off them. I'm just going to open the shop, champions, because it's 2 minutes to 10. And if any champions walk in, I'll just have to deal with them. Alrighty then. Ah, stop it, computer. You're showing me a beach. I want to be at the beach. Alright, so we're going to play Gary Moore, aren't we? My Windows update is complete. Yay. Fuck off. YouTube Music. Connect to Sprecher. Gary Moore. It's going to play Still Got the Blues first, I guarantee it, if I just go shuffle. Come on, speaker, connect. There we go. Yeah. I know. One day. Gary Moore, Ballads and Blues. He had a pretty crispy tone, didn't he, actually? I seem to remember him having a smoother tone than that. Open. Open for beeswax. Michelle got some Christmas lights for the shop, but she got the battery powered ones with a little battery pack and they've already died. Scotty, $10. Christmas gift on me for you and your dad. Thanks, mate. Bloody legend. We popped around for a schooner at the Brew Mountains, not Brew Mountains, Mountain Culture yesterday. We had a nice mid-strength beer because I was driving. Re stuff going wrong when a customer's watching was opposite at C. Some machines would be playing up. I'd get the tech, then the machine works perfectly when he's there. No, that stuff happens here too. Had a guy bring in an amp yesterday. He sent me an email and it, gotta admit, it was the thing that got me was the 2 quotation marks around the word repair. Said, oh, you repaired my amp recently and it's doing the same thing. I said, well, no, I can't be doing the same thing. But the thing with an amplifier is, what's the most common symptom? No signal or buzz or hum or crackling or whatever. There's like 500 things that could cause that, right? So this was the DT25 where the capacitors were leaking all over the board. So I replaced every single surface mount capacitor on the digital board because it ate through the plus 8 volt trace, which is a unipolar power supply for all the analog circuitry after the digital to analog converter and the analog before the analog to digital converter. So that rail had dropped completely, which is what caused the signal to die, and it crackled previously as that trace was corroding away. It was leaking some signal and leaking some voltage through, and it was crackling, coming and going. Obviously, that was the problem. Did some other work to it, put it back together, ran for 6 hours, no problem. So it's not, in the customer's mind, it's like, you didn't even do anything. It's like, yes, I fucking did something. I did a lot of thing. I did lots of thing. So he brought it in and the amp was perfect. And he was just like in disbelief. And I was like, don't know what to tell you, bro. Check your cables, check your pedals, check your rest of your signal chain. But yeah, it's not like I didn't repair it. When you say the amp you repaired in the email, it sort of cuts at your fucking pride a little bit as a tech. It's a little bit rude, but anyway, everyone was happy in the end. Hopefully he finds a cable or something that's gone wrong and can pin down the problem, but the amp was perfectly working here, so. They didn't even clean the melted plastic shit off the pins when the connector melted. They even reused it. Oh, fuck. Techs are scared of multi-pin connectors, Dick's amps. Have you noticed that? Techs will never crimp a new connector on. They'll never do it. You could hold a fucking gun to their head and they will not buy a crimp gun. They'll just solder to the pins, solder to the holes in the board. Fucking crimp guns, man. They're not fucking black magic. I've shown this one on stream many a time. You can get way cheaper ones. I got this one because I like the fact that it won't let you do less than optimum crimp. This one's a Pressmaster. I think it's made in Sweden or somewhere. Yeah, made in Sweden. Made in Sweden. I don't know why we think they all talk like that, because they don't. But anyway, you take the die out. There she is. That's the die. That suits 4.8 millimeter spade connectors. See, it's got the electro. What do you call it? You know, the EDM, electronic dance music. Electro something. The wire process for cutting. Anyway, I can't remember what it's fucking called. But yeah, that goes in, and that gives you one of these connections. There's a perfectly crimped connector. It's biting into the jacket. The wire's not too long for its. Often you see the wispy bits coming out the end there, but not in this case. Optimum length, tight as hell, right? Here was just test runs I did when I first got the gun, just to get the feel for it. It does require a bit of skill to use, but you can use, so these connectors here, it crimps them as well. That's the receivers. That's what goes in the box header, the box connector. Sorry, but you can go down to, you know, these little things. You can crimp them. Little IDC, whatever they're called. And you can get all different. The reason I like this one is you can just put whatever die you want into it. And they've got Cat 5 ones. They've got all sorts of ones you can get different heads for, and they come in this cool little holder which you can store them all in. It's like playing with Lego. Yeah, great crimp gun. And for some reason, techs are just allergic to crimp guns. EDM, yeah, machining, electro discharge machining. See you, Martin. Have a good one, mate. Hopefully that scotch lulls you to sleep. Yeah, she goes in like that, and it won't let you release until you've properly crimped it all the way. If you do stuff up though, and you go, oh shit, I didn't align it properly, you can get in there with like a, I don't know, a screwdriver or something, and just release it, release the ratchet, and out she comes. You could probably do that with your finger if you, yeah, if you absolutely have to, you can release it. But yeah, I really like that crimper. And techs should own one of them to be able to reconnect the correct connections on. In some cases, you do have to bypass them, particularly if they're underrated for the current, like in Mesa Boogies and whatever, where they expect like 10 amps out of a fucking one pin because they're idiots. But yeah, everyone should have one of them that's doing this stuff seriously. I learned about all the wire crimping stuff back when I was the diesel tech Volvo. We all had a tool like that, plus multiple dies. Yeah, it's the way to go, brother. I was a car stereo installer for almost 20 years. Started installing radios for my friends in high school. By 1983, I had a tri-amp system in my car. Fucking hell, nice. You would have been, he come from miles away. Back in the day, a tri-amp unit, that would have been awesome. Be safe. Be safe all. It's a crazy world. Embrace the joy and choke what you gotta. Just keep moving. See you next week. Thank you for joining us, mate. Have a good one. Well, legends, with all the ranting and stuff, and we just need a bit of a outlet every now and then, I think. And you guys are more than welcome to come and rant on my channel and do whatever you feel like. Messadis stream drinking game. There was only one. I want a Messadis. I got a Messerant coming out soon, a dual rectifier. Yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, just in this world, as we get clamped down harder and harder, feel free to vent on my channel and in the chat and express your distaste for the current situation in the world. I'll be more than receptive to you venting on my little platform here. anything to keep you sane. But battle on, keep fixing shit, and keep serving the musicians in your life, because that's the important thing. To keep the art flowing, champions. We need to keep the art flowing, because those opposites hate art. They don't understand art. They can't create art. That's why they fucking love AI. And they despise people who are able to create it and create political movements around art. So keep fighting the fucking good fight. Keep supporting the artists in your life and keep that art flowing at all costs. And fight oppression. Until next time, champions, take it squeezy. And I'll have some new content coming out soon. I'm going to do a shitload of filming over this weekend when I have time. I'm just going to try and push as much footage into that camera as I can over the coming day or two. And hopefully I have some good content to be able to edit and give you some nice little distraction from life over the next week. I'm also going to, support live music. Fucking oath, Andy. Especially the small acts, the small passionate acts that need your support. Don't go and see Lady Gaga. Go and see fucking small bands at your local pub. Go and see the aggressive shit too. See the passionate stuff. Don't just watch blues boomers in the corner that are rich and have multiple rental properties. Go and watch the young kids that are starting out and need your support. Buy their merch. Buy their fucking cassettes if they're selling them. Buy anything. Even if you can't play them, just buy them and put them on the shelf. Buy their merch. Buy their t-shirts. Represent them. Get their names out there. Share their social media around. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Don't share my shit. Share their shit. If you're going to share one thing, share their local artists. But yeah, we'll have some good footage coming out next couple of days. Vintage stuff, new stuff, complex stuff, simple stuff. And that guitar rant, which I was going to go on before, but now I don't have time for. So I'll make a video about that because it's ridiculous. Take it easy, legends. Until next time, I think Dad's just turned up. So that means my coffee's here. No, I think it's a customer. All right, I've got to run. Have a good one. Stay safe.